Hope you're having an amazing day. Obviously, I'm going at this a little bit of a different format. I'm trying to be a little more consistent with these videos, and the easiest way to be consistent is to make it easy for yourself. So rather than make this huge ordeal, the backdrop, the microphones, all this crap, just turn this baby on and have a talk with you guys. And today, I think you're gonna like this today. I want to talk to you about how I was lying in network marketing, and how there's a chance that you are as well. And it's probably not coming from a place of you're not being deceitful. It's just you're doing what you were told, and then you're putting it out there and stuff like that. So I'll give you an example. You've probably heard the adage in network marketing, like, hey, just go get 2 people, and then they'll go get 2 people, and then they'll go get 2 people, and then they'll get 2 people, and then you'll have this massive team. Or maybe it's the 4 thing, go get 4, and they'll get 4, and they'll get 4, and that kind of thing, right? And I want to ask you, have you ever seen that actually happen? If you've ever crunched the numbers in like how a organization can expand, 4, 4, 4, you get to like generation number 8, and there's hundreds of thousands of people in there. Everyone actually got 4. When I first got into my first network marketing company, the numbers were 6, 4, 2. I remember them to this day. Hey, you just go get 6 people, and then they'll just go get 4 people, and then they just go get 2 people, and you've got an organization big enough to pay you like $60,000 a year. And then it turned into 3, 3, 3. You get 3, you get 3, you get 3. And you know what? That sounds really nice. We do it for an explanation purpose. This is how you can explain things in the easiest way possible, right? It's to provide simplicity. But at the end of the day, it does 2 things. Number one, it kind of gives the prospect an idea that it's much easier to grow the business than it is, and so your expectations are way off, and so they get pretty pissed off, and then they get discouraged, or maybe they quit and things like that. And then secondly is once they're in the business, like that expectation follows them into the business, and they're like, well, this isn't exactly happening the way I thought it would, and then you lead into position number 1, which is they get upset and they end up leaving. And at the end of the day, what we've found is that giving proper expectations from the very beginning not only improves the quality of the person that we get in, but it also drastically increases the quality of their behavior while they're in the business and increases their stick rate. So you can have a person that if you put them in a position where their expectations weren't properly set, or the environment is different, they'll act differently. I'll give you an example. If you take a really good person, a stand-up guy, and you put them in a really low-level environment, like a kind of a sketchy bar, right? And you put him in that environment for a long period of time. I'm not saying he would lower himself to doing sketchy bar things all the way, but do you think his behavior is going to go up or down? Well, it's probably going to decrease, right? It's not going to be as good. If you put a really upstanding person in a really bad environment, it's going to change that person's behavior regardless of who they are. So when you take a person that would be a quality recruit and you stick them into a bad environment with poor expectations, you're going to change their behavior. And so over a period of years of doing this the wrong way, we finally started to have some really proper expectations in the beginning, and it would change the behavior of the person in the business and increase their retention. So the key is to do that at scale, right? When we first changed the way that we set expectations, we had no scale. We were doing one-on-ones, hotel meetings, Zoom calls, crap like that. I love all the old school people that right now they can't go do like physical one-on-ones or hotel meetings and stuff, so they're like doing stuff on Zoom and they think it's like internet marketing, and not even close. But when you can combine good expectations and scale, that's when you can have some real firepower. So what do you tell people then for real? Well, the real numbers look like this, and occasionally I'll talk to people on the phone, like potential clients and things like that, and I'll tell this to them, and most of the time it's a brand new piece of information. And so if you look across the network marketing industry, for every 30 to 40 people that you enroll, you'll get one really good person, like what we call a leader, someone that becomes they're going to become a 6-figure earner on their own. So what that means is if you register 30 to 40 people yourself, you'll probably get one that becomes their own 6-figure earner. That means they can build a really big team. So if you're trying to create a very sizable organization, you need at least 2 to 4 leaders, okay, at least. So, let's say you're in a binary, you need 1 here, 1 here. If you're in a unit level comp plan, you need, at least probably 2 or 3 legs. 4 is better, or you can start stacking them, either one. But minimum, you need let's call it 3 leaders to have at least a solid 6-figure income through your business, right? We can all agree with that. So what that means is, I need to recruit 30 people for every one I want, 30 to 35 people for every one I want. So that means that puts me at about 100 recruits just to find 3 leaders. And it doesn't mean they get in and make 6 figures tomorrow. It means they get in and eventually they'll become 6-figure earners. So here's the way the math really works out. You sponsor 100 people, and about 30 of them are going to quit really, really quickly, about 30%. Right around 30% are going to quit almost immediately. So you recruit 100, and 30 are basically gone, they're out the door. And so what sometimes happens is you recruit 2, 3, 4 people, sometimes in your warm market, they all quit, and you think the business is broken, or you're a new person thinks the business is broken. That's not the case. They're just getting the quitters right now. You'll have another 30%-ish that what we call incubate. Okay, incubate means that they come in, they use the products, maybe they sell a few things or on an auto ship, and they tell you they're going to build a business, but they never actually do it. They fake you out, and these people fake people out all the time. They say, oh yeah, I'm going to do it, but they never do. They get paralysis by analysis, they get stuck in the curriculum, they find every reason in the world not to do it, but they do volume, and so we want to take care of them, obviously. That's about 30 to 35% of your recruits. So now we're already at 60 to 70% of your total recruits, and basically no one's done anything really that useful. Then you have the last 30%, and these people are what we call builders. So these aren't leaders, these are builders. They're going to get in and they're going to recruit, they're going to do the auto ship and all that stuff, but they're going to recruit 1, 2, maybe 3, 4 people. And they are going to be good for you because they could find themselves a leader kind of on accident, and they're also going to provide more volume than the incubators and definitely more than the quitters. So we like the builders. But then there's the leaders. And like I said, this is about 3% of your total recruit population. So if you recruit 100, you're going to find maybe 3, maybe 4 if you're lucky. Leaders are people that become 6-figure earners. Now the trick is to place these people in the right spots. Hopefully you do. 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, whatever. And those legs blow out and you have yourself a very stable 6 or maybe multiple 6-figure income. If you want to do it again, you just go find more leaders by repeating the process. So the real goal is not how do I go get 4 and mother hen them and hatch them until they become a flourishing superstar. No. The real thing is you become a superstar, you go recruit 100 people, don't really worry what your people are doing. Obviously you need a system to plug them into so that they have a shot, but realize that most people aren't actually going to do the things that need to be done. It's on them, it's not on you. You need to give them a proper system that actually works and is predictable, which is most companies' problem, by the way. But let's say you have that because you're in Rebels and you're using that yourself. You plug them in, that's fantastic, but you can't focus now on them until they prove themselves. So now what you need to do is go perform and go find more people until they start coming to you. So you don't make these leaders, you find them. You put enough people in and the cream will rise and you'll find them. This is exactly what happened in our organization personally, okay? We put a bunch of people in and a couple of them start bubbling up to the very top, and we say, okay, I'm going to spend personal time with you a couple times a week, or whatever, or I'm going to give you my personal cell phone number, and you can text me whenever you want, or whatever the case is. But we don't waste our time with the incubators and the quitters, and even honestly, most of the builders. We spend our time with the people that are going to be winners. But the point of all this is to break off the bull crap that says, oh, just go find 2 and they'll find 2 and they'll find 2. It doesn't work like that. I know corporate wants to tell you that. I know companies want to tell you that. I know your upline might not even know they probably don't know what I just said, and they're going to tell you that. That's horse crap. You have to change the way you think about this. Think about this like a company perspective. Real companies, real businesses recognize that the majority of their growth comes from a very small percentage of the client base. The 80-20 rule applies to everything, and in fact, there's 80-20 within the 80-20, which means there's 95 fives. So the majority of your growth, 95% of your growth will come from about 5% of your people. But if you only have a sample size of 3 recruits ever, you don't have enough data, you don't even have enough people to get any growth. Does that make sense? So change your mindset to go from, I need to find 10 people. No, you need to find at least 100. You need to recruit 100 yourself. and then maybe more after that if your goals are bigger than that. So now it becomes, how do I do that? And you can either do what you're doing now, if you're watching this video, you're interested in building online with automation and things like that, you need to have a scalable marketing system that is not bound, number one, by location. Everyone understands that right now, but it's also not bounded by your time. See, the first thing we teach people in Rebels is to remove yourself from the act of prospecting. Prospecting is the single greatest waste of time in network marketing, yet most network marketing trainers will say to spend 80% of your time prospecting. That's the biggest load of poo-poo in the world. Why in the world would you do that? Prospecting is the least skilled thing on the planet. Least skilled. I could go get a dog and tie a note to his neck and send him outside, and he can just go run into people and it says, hey, are you looking for an opportunity? He's technically prospecting. I can get a high school in a Canvas neighborhood for $10 an hour, putting flyers on people's doors. He's prospecting for me. So why would I spend my time doing a $10 an hour job? My time should be spent closing and leading, the high value skills in my business, closing and leading. A high schooler can't close people and he probably can't lead anyone, otherwise he wouldn't be canvassing for me. So the first thing that you have to do is remove yourself from the prospecting process. That means no typing on Facebook trying to find people, no stalking in groups trying to find people, no posting crap all over Instagram trying to find people, direct messaging people trying to find people, posting and praying, stalking people at the gas stations when you can do that again. That's all out the window. What about presentations? Presentations, if you're doing a one-on-one presentation in any capacity, why in the world would you do that when we have the technology we have today? That would be insane. Even if we were in the Stone Ages and there was no internet, you could bet your britches I would not do a one-on-one presentation ever again in my life. I would write a sales letter and send it out to 100,000 people. There is no purpose to that. So the first thing that we do in Rebels, the first thing you need to do is automate your prospecting process so that you have unlimited people coming to you on a daily, weekly basis, whatever you can handle, that all you have to do is call them and close them. It's a high value skill, closing. So that's all you should be doing every day. We have more applicants than generally we can handle. We've had days with as many as 900 applicants coming to us in one day. Just us, not including the team. That's a lot of people. That's the first step. Step number 2 is to automate even the closing process so that you can focus your 100% of your attention on leading. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense, you guys. But again, the point is the adage of get 2 who get 2 get 2, or get 4 who get 4 who get 4, is number 1, it's incorrect. It just basically never happened aside from some random outlier out there. It doesn't happen 99.9% of the time, number 1. Number 2, it paints an incorrect expectation in the prospect's mind, and it breeds bad behavior in them, so they're not likely to work very hard and they're going to be a pain in the butt to deal with. Number 3, change your verbiage in your own head and where you tell people this is an actual business. If you treat it like an actual business, it doesn't necessarily mean you just work it all the time. It means that you recognize, okay, I don't have to go get 4 people who get 4 and mother hen them. I have to go get 100. You treat it like a real company who knows, these are my numbers. I have to go get 100. All companies know their metrics. Know your metrics. You're after 100 at least personal recruits. 4th thing is find a way to do that at scale and as most effectively and as fast as you possibly can. Like, notice I said fast and effective. I didn't just say fast. I said and effective. That means you're getting good people. And from there, you can look at automation and things like that. Sound good? All right, cool. If you don't know how to do any of that stuff, you need to go read the blueprint right now. It's mlmrebelsblueprint.com. It's the very first step in your journey of figuring out how to automate the prospecting process and then automate the closing process. It's mlmrebelsblueprint.com. That's your very, very first step. From there, the journey is kind of choose your own adventure, of course. So anyway, hopefully this helped you guys. I'm going to walk around here and turn this camera off, and love you guys. It's been an amazing day. Thanks, guys. See you later.